Hey USA soccer fans, I'm Erin Fish and I will be your team reporter producing content for the US women's national team throughout their journey in France. I'm really excited, I hope you are too. Let's dare to shine, USA. Megan, it was 0-0 most of the match and then there was an obvious turning point in that game. Can you talk us through that turning point?
Just Alex being aggressive in the box, obviously, and she's been, just putting her body on the line really all tournament. We've asked a little bit of a different role from her this tournament, and she just bought in wholeheartedly. She's been getting in front of defenders and did the same thing on that one.
You just scored 5 goals in your opening match. What message would you want to send to young girls who want to follow in your footsteps?
I think that this game was incredible, but I feel like I drew my inspiration off this last week of being the last group and having to watch all these amazing women out there.
It's finally over. You are a World Cup champion. Has there been one moment that has inspired you throughout this tournament?
Oh, God, I've said before my press conference and to you guys before, I don't think there's one moment. There's been so much happening.
Both looking for their first ACC win, Syracuse and Louisville go head-to-head in the Dome this afternoon. From the Newhouse studio at Syracuse University, welcome to the ACC on ESPN pregame show. I'm Erin Fish.
Look at the second half. What are we looking for?
I think Sienna's got to come out and they've got to start playing their own style of play, a little bit more possession, and they got to keep the ball. Syracuse, like Nikki Adams said, they just had to play a little bit quicker, up the tempo, and really try to put another one in and seal this game.
The tempo may stay up, but head coach Steve Karbowski hopes Sienna can change the pacing.
The Special Olympics have been around for 50 years, and these stories are just so inspirational, and we were happy to be a part of it.
With Syracuse legend Floyd Little, who was just honored at halftime as the honorary women's coach. What does this mean to you, Floyd?
Well, it's great. I followed this team all.
Welcome back inside the Newhouse studio for the ACC on ESPN pregame show. I'm your host, Erin Fish. This afternoon, Syracuse looks for its 13th straight victory over Pittsburgh. SU has not lost inside the Carrier Dome to the Panthers since 2009.
3 big threes hit late in the second quarter. What changed?
Well, we start shooting the ball with confidence. We got open looks we got to take.
I'm Sean Salisbury alongside former Division I soccer player Erin Fish. And Erin, right now at Syracuse, trying to bounce back from a tough loss on Thursday.
Yeah, it really shows who you are as a team if you can bounce back from a loss like that, Sean. And I think that Syracuse has the personality to do so going into ACC play.
Shohei Ohtani will be the AL Rookie of the Year and MVP this year.
Erin, this is a new head coach for Syracuse women's soccer, Nikki Adams, and there's a new word that Syracuse women's soccer operates by, and that's aggression.
Yeah, new coach, new identity, new culture for sure. This team is now offensive-minded. They are looking to go to goal with aggression, and that's just what they're doing. They started off with a win, and they're still hungry for more. Coach, what's it like to have Wes Clark back in the lineup tonight?
It's helpful, not helpful enough, obviously.
A family friend who moved here from Slovakia to Syracuse about 15 years ago kindly offered to let Merrick join her and her family for Christmas this year, which he is very much looking forward to. As for the rest of the team, they have a couple of days off to get home, but they have to be back here for practice on Christmas afternoon, guys. How did you respond to this good Buffalo team?
They did a great job.
Diego Campos, a senior. You've seen him all 4 years. He is just an offensive threat with 7 goals and 8 assists already on the season. Senior transfer from Rutgers, Jason Wright. He makes it so that teams cannot just focus on that one player.
Ready for some women's lacrosse action? We'll take a look at Syracuse's defensive struggles and the Tar Heels' dominance in the ACC. I'm Erin Fish, and we'll be back with the ACC Network halftime show.
Taylor, last game against Miami, you guys talked about playing together as a team and how important that was. Tonight, you had 8 different players score. What does that say about this team? I mean, both teams opened up, and it was a pretty evenly matched game with possession, and then Wake Forest just kind of took off. They are putting the pressure on. They're possessing, they're pushing the ball through, and they're getting those crosses in.
SU men's lacrosse is on a 4-game winning streak, but that isn't as impressive as it sounds. The team has had 6 straight games decided by only 1 goal. They now take their 6-1 record to South Bend, Indiana to take on undefeated and top-ranked Notre Dame. Will the team make it 5 in a row, or will Notre Dame stay on top?
Wes Clark will play in his first game in nearly 2 years tonight. He was dismissed from the Missouri roster in the 2016 season for failing to meet their academic standards. He's transferred to Buffalo last year, but had to sit out an entire year because of the NCAA residency rule, which allows him to play after the fall semester ends. Now, the coaches wanted him for the Syracuse and A&M game, and thankfully for the Bulls, his last grade was entered at 1 p.m. today, and he was on the road by 2. Steve, as a coach, that has to be exciting to get a player of his caliber back for tonight's game.
Yeah, a lot of times coaches get told about.
From the Newhouse studio at Syracuse University, welcome to the ACC on ESPN pregame show. I'm Erin Fish, getting you set for Syracuse and Pittsburgh this afternoon in the Carrier Dome. Today, SU strives for not only its 3rd ACC win, but to break the all-time attendance record in the Carrier Dome. They have to do it this year, because next year, Harper's going to be a free agent.
At halftime, Boeheim said that he was not happy with the way that the Orange were playing. He said they made too many silly mistakes and that they need to correct them.
Had a special moment in their spring game on Friday night. In his first and only drive of the game, he led the Orange down the field for a touchdown and was able to celebrate that moment with his team.
And with experience comes leadership. This Duke team has 5 senior captains, and these captains have really set the tone for the younger players on the team.
One of those younger players, Daniele Proke, he's been incredible all season.
Daniele Proke is just creative on the ball. He creates so many opportunities for him and his teammates. He already has 3 goals and 2 assists on the season. When I asked her what her hopes and dreams are for this team this year, she said she really wants them to create a new identity for themselves while continuing the legacy of Syracuse women's basketball. Back to you guys.